Hey guys, this is Lumika. I'm from Loreto House, Calcutta, and I'm here today to talk to you about a very real life scenario that we all kind of face. Let's say you've gone to watch a movie and you come out of the movie theater, the movie's ended. You're going from a completely dark, dim lit theater to a completely bright corridor, room, space, mall, wherever you are, right? So, for a few seconds, don't you feel like this squint in your eyes because you're being thrown into a completely brightly lit area immediately? Why does that happen? What happens in your eye when you go from a darker room to a brighter room? Or when you text a friend at 3 a.m. in the night and in your dark bedroom, you decide to hold your phone up to your face and the light flashes on your camera and the light flashes on your face. So, what happens then? Uh, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, look at the simulation that you see. Now, what do you see here? On the left, you see the eye, and on the right, you see the lens. All right, which is from where you're able to form the image of objects or the outline of objects, and you're able to see things. So let's use this simulation to understand what I was talking about. Now, when you go from, say, the dark theater to the bright room, when you're at in the dark theater, the size of your pupil is really small. So it's like that. And because the size of your pupil is really small, this is how the lens of the eye would react to that. Whereas when you go into a brighter room or when you go into a more lighted space, then the size of your pupil gradually expands. Again, the ciliary muscle will react in a particular manner. And because the size of your pupil has expanded, it enables light to enter the retina of your eye. And the retina is the part of the eye that is sensitive to light. So you're able to see things around you. So you're able to perceive images. Now, I know that retina, iris, ciliary, all gone over the head. We'll come to it one by one. So let me show you a quick set of notes that I have here. I know the handwriting is horrible, bear with me. What did we understand from the explanation that I just gave? The size of the pupil, whether it is small in a dark room or large in a brightly lit room, regulates the amount of light that is entering my eye. Hence, it enables me to see objects or to not see them, which is why you're not able to see things as clearly in a darkly lit bedroom or in a movie hall. So that's the first point that we need to understand, which I've kind of written here for you. Now, there are three layers of the eye. The first layer, I've marked that, is the sclerotic layer, which is the front portion of the eye. It's the major white portion of your eye. That's the sclerotic layer, also known as the sclera. And as I mentioned, it's white in color and it's made of fibrous tissues. Then we come to the middle layer, which is the choroid layer. The choroid layer is richly supplied with blood vessels in order to provide that nourishment that's needed for your eye. And in fact, it is between it is at the juncture between the choroid layer and the iris of the eye that we find the ciliary body. So if I were to go back to the simulation that I was showing you, here's the ciliary body, right? This is why we were using the ciliary muscle contraction. This is the ciliary body, as well as the lens of the eye. So this ciliary body is located between the middle choroid layer of the eye and the iris of the eye. Okay, now we talk about the ciliary body for a bit. The ciliary body essentially is what alters the lens of the eye, which is what you saw in the simulation or the diagram that I was showing you right in the beginning. Now, when we go for a cataract operation, for that matter, what portion of the eye is the doctor operating? It's the lens of the eye, and the shape of that lens is essentially controlled by the contraction and the relaxation of the muscles in the ciliary body. And the iris essentially partially covers the lens of the eye. That's how it's placed. Okay, now we come to the retina, which is the innermost layer of the eye. It's the third layer. Now, the retina is the layer that is sensitive to light. which is why I mentioned the retina being able, which is why I mentioned right in the beginning that the light has to enter the retina in order for you to see things. That's the layer of the eye that is the innermost and the most sensitive to light. Now, what happens in the retina? So, when you go from a dim or a dark room or a theater or whatever dark space, the pupil is dilated. Whereas when you go to a brighter room or a brighter, like a room like this for that matter, the pupil is constricted. And okay, now let's talk about the retina, right? The retina essentially has two parts to it, rods and cones. So you can see a very bad visual representation. I will just write it down for you. Now, what's the difference and what's the purpose? So rods essentially are sensitive to dim or dark rooms. That's where the rods come into play in the retina of your eye. And it is the rods that are not sensitive to color vision at all. So if you're able to see my red t-shirt right now, that's not because of the rods in the retina of your eye. That's because of the cones in the retina of your eye. And of course, a variety of other factors. The pigment that's present in the rods in the retina is visual purple, also known as rhodopsin. And the pigment that is present in the cones is visual violet or iodopsin. So let's talk for a few seconds about the cones. The cones are sensitive not only to light but also to color vision, like I was just explaining to you with the whole red t-shirt example. So that is how the retina of your eye is placed in terms of rods and cones and how they act in dim or dark rooms, whereas in bright rooms. So that's roughly the structure of the eye for you. And next time when you're going from a movie hall into the outer space, you'll know the reason you feel that squinting moment of blindness for a few seconds is because the light is entering the pupil of your eye and your pupil is gradually expanding to allow that light to reach the retina. So then after a few seconds, it adjusts to the brightness or the light in the next room and you're able to see things around you. I'm going to stop the screen share for a sec. Right. So I hope that kind of got to you. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, that's what the eye. Thank you.